First of all, Hadim C. and Demencio Vaughn have left the team for personal reasons, and we want to wish them the best. We'll honor two seniors on Saturday, uh, Romello White and Devontae Schuler. Obviously, I've only coached Romello for 1 year, but I've been very impressed with Romello. I mean, he's a guy everybody in our locker room really likes. He's a really good teammate, how hard he pulls for his teammates. And I think Romello is playing his best basketball kind of over our stretch of winning whatever the last 6 out of 8 or 8 out of 12. I think he has been a huge part of that. Played great against Kentucky. And so I just think a lot of great basketballs ahead of Romello. Obviously, Devontae has been here for 3 years. And I remember the first time that I met Devontae and, and just watch him grow as a young man and grow as a player. And, from maturing academically and maturing into a leader. And, he had such a great sophomore year on our NCAA tournament team. And I thought he played terrific, with TD and Brian was kind of the unsung hero on that team. And then obviously really progressed as a junior and playing like a first team all SEC player this year. I thought the Kentucky game was one of his more complete games that he's had. He was so efficient on 10 shots, 7 assists. And the biggest thing, both those guys will be missed. But we talked about it a bunch. The only way you have a fun senior night is to win. And so I know that's the utmost importance in a really key and critical game for us against Vanderbilt on Saturday.
Go ahead, John. Starts off.
Kermit, when it comes to what you just said with Demencio and Kadeem, I mean, what were your kind of conversations with them kind of like when they, decided to leave the program?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it as that, John, that they just left for personal reasons and we just wish them the best.
Okay. And following up to that, how much more personal is this Vanderbilt matchup considering, that they beat you guys last week and after the game, you said that you were off the bubble. So does that make this one kind of more of a personal game?
Well, I think that I really don't think that personal things matter this time of the year. I really don't. You've got to bring a really good game Saturday. I thought Vanderbilt was terrific against us. We had our best, but they made some unbelievable shots. They played well. It was senior night for a couple of their guys, and they responded. We didn't. And, so they played tonight against Cincinnati. But I think it all, maybe it sticks in the mind of our players. We'll see. But regardless, John, whether we won or lost that game, I mean, it's a big game for us, seeding, 5th, 8th, and then going down the stretch for postseason opportunities.
Go to Nick.
Just procedure to start. What can you do for senior night this year? What are the limitations on what you guys can do for the players?
Yeah, the families can't participate on the floor. You hate that. They'll be in the stands, but we'll honor the families on our jumbotron. But the players can be out there and accept their senior award. And so it's just one of the things that you miss with COVID. And, but hopefully with the arena now being, get 50% or close to it, whatever the protocol is that there'll be a lot more people be able to come to the game and get a chance to watch Romello and Devontae, for the last time in the pavilion.
Did you ever have a point where you tried to get Romello and Devontae back, or did you kind of know this was their last year despite the extra year?
I've just not had one conversation about it, Nick. We've just been trying to be the best team we possibly can be. And if they wanted to have that conversation at some point, they can. But I leave that strictly up to those guys, and I really think they're both ready to take a next step and to play professionally. If something didn't go right and they wanted to have other conversations after that, I'm open to that for sure. But I just want those guys to do what's best for them. And I think they're both looking forward to trying to be pros.